that's the rewarding piece to me, is how can I change somebody's life today? Whether it's a smile, whether it's running a Pop Warner or AAU basketball or volleyball or working where I work, it doesn't matter. What can I do today to change somebody's life?
Welcome to Shaping the Basin. I am here with Patty Card. Thank you for joining us.
Of course, Heather. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for asking me.
I was thrilled when you said yes. So thank you. We actually met many years ago through Pop Warner football.
Yes, we did.
And the reason I invited you on was I don't know very many more people that care about people the way that you do. And I so admire that.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Let's just start with Pop Warner. How long were you involved in that and why?
So my husband and I came onto the league when our kids turned 5th grade because that was the earliest you could do. And the person who had started 2 years before didn't want to do it anymore. So we always seem our hands tend to go up a lot. So our hands went up. And for the next 10 years, we ran the Pop Warner League in Klamath County. Our kids had moved on from it. And it just gave me great joy and to watch those kids out there and to watch them grow and change and then get to go watch them in high school was just so rewarding. And being invited to their graduations was just incredible.
Yeah.
So I loved it.
That's
I
awesome.
loved it.
Did you, and you said you got invited to some of their graduations.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I know you even better, I imagine you knew them even as adults. As they grew up, did you still have some?
I do. I get lots of baby pictures. I get just a million things. You know, what you can do for the youth in our community, let alone adults, whoever, be kind.
Mm-hmm.
And what can you do to help people today? And that's the rewarding piece to me, is how can I change somebody's life today? Whether it's a smile, whether it's running a Pop Warner or AAU basketball or volleyball or working where I work, it doesn't matter. What can I do today to change somebody's life?
I like that. You're still very involved with the youth.
Yes.
I see pictures. I sometimes think, where in the heck is Patty now? Because you're at all of these sporting events. It does seem to be that you are at a lot of sporting events. So talk to me about what you're doing now with the youth.
Oh my gosh. What am I doing now with youth? I do exchange students, and I've had 18 exchange students go through my house. I love it. I have not got to travel to Europe yet because the year I was going to travel to Europe was COVID.
Oh.
And I was going to 5 graduations in Europe, and it just devastated me. So I have not chosen to do that because I'm still pouting, I guess. But I do exchange students, which is fun. But there are kids in our own town that need help. Mm-hmm. And I always want my house to be an open house that they can come to. I have a very structured house. The first thing they do when they walk in is they get rules. And I haven't had a kid break my rules yet because I give them love, I give them attention, and I truly care for them. And I've got to watch them go out in the world. So for my exchange students, they have to play sports because that's me. I hosted the Klamath Falls Gems Players for as many years as the Gems were in town. I've actually got to go officiate wedding in New York for one of them. I'm going back as the new Grandma P for one of the kids. I'm going to Chicago to go see another one of my kids. And I'm very involved with their lives as well, even though the Gems have been gone for quite a while.
What is the key to being there for some of those kids? You said there's kids that need us. What does that look like?
What that looks like is being honest with them, caring about them, not putting on airs, not pretending you care, but not being there. And sometimes you have to fight through hard times with them. But them knowing that you are their constant makes a huge difference in their lives. Mm-hmm. Huge difference. I mean, I've watched one of the kids that came through my house is now at Western Oregon running track. and another kid who was going in the Air Force in the next little bit came to me with 7 credits his senior year. And he graduated with a diploma because he worked hard, because somebody believed in him. Believing in him, structure. Kids want structure. They really do. And they want to know what it is up front. And I'm very open and honest with them about what structure is at Patty's house. And that's what I see they need. They want that. Too many of our kids don't have that. Parents want to be friends. Be a parent. I tell the athletes, be an athlete. Don't try to be something you're not. You're not LeBron James. You're not Travis Kelce. You're not. Be an athlete and let's see where it takes you.
You mentioned that your exchange students play sports. Have you always been a sports fanatic?
Yes. So I played volleyball in high school a long time ago when the officials squatted under the net. How their knees did it, I'll never know. My husband played sports forever, football, baseball, basketball. Our kids played 4 sports because they also played roller hockey. Sports to me teach commitment, teamwork, work ethic, getting things done, and dedication. And when I would watch my own kids get up at 5 every morning, and we would go in and they would lift weights, or they would go throw, or we would go out on the field. I have thrown thousands of passes in my life, and they aren't good, but I can do it. But that's what kids need, is somebody who's there and willing to do that. They can't just show up and be okay. They need that guidance. And that's what we've always done. I had one of my exchange students had never touched a baseball in his life. He absolutely fell in love with the sport, which did my heart good, because it is my zen. And he took baseball back to Denmark. He took bats, gloves, everything, and he started a team back there with 12 kids.
That's cool.
It changed his life. It changed his life. That's really cool. You have to know the kids to know what they need, to know how to help them.
Do you, I think it's interesting you've had so many exchange students, then you're also working with kids here locally. What are some of the similarities and differences between kids from here and kids from overseas?
So some of the differences are the kids who come over for exchange programs, most of them have very intact families. They have parents, grandparents, cousins, everybody that's involved with them. Their schools are very different because they graduate when they're 15 and they pick university. Am I going to go into a trade? Am I going to go to become a master's level something? Am I going to not? And you have to pick at that point what you're going to do. They're very, all of them speak great English. I have people argue with me all the time, is this your exchange student or not? Because they speak very good English. And they come with passion and adventure. Not that our local kids don't, but I feel like sometimes our local kids don't have that adventuresome aspect to them. Like I wish they did. Live with no regrets. I think about, I couldn't have gone over to Europe for a year, but I wish I would have to expand myself. I think it would have brought more to me. So there's similarities, but there's differences. I think one thing that's huge when the kids get here, and whether I should say this or not, they drink at 14 over there. And them to come over here, you don't get to do that. And when the kids leave, most of them have gone back and not gone back to drinking because they realize life is okay without alcohol.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
That's been interesting. Yeah. And that was a hard one for me to accept because I'm very strong ruled on that. That's illegal. So that part's different for the kids when they get here. And it takes them about 4 months to really adjust. And then when they do, and it comes time to go home, They're like, but I don't want to go home. Yeah, I want to go home. I don't want to go home. I want to go home. I don't. And it's really hard for them. So a lot of my kids have come back, and a lot of our exchange students come back to visit.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's really great.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
get to watch them. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you don't just take care of kids. What do you do work-wise?
Oh my gosh. So I have been fortunate to be at KBBH, Klamath Based in Behavioral Health, for 43 years. I know. I'm only 44. No, I'm really not. But I, for 37 years, I was director of administration, doing all, the liaison with our board of directors, our CEO, Stan Gilbert, who still is one of my best friends and mentors in my life. I did facilities and safety and you name it, and I did it. Now I love what I get to do. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love what I get to do. I am training peer supports, people with lived experience who may have had adult addictions in their life or their whole lives, have mental illness, so that they can become certified so they can go help other people understand their recovery journey. And I have watched people's lives change by having peer supports. Yes, therapy is amazing. You need therapy, you need psych meds, you need this holistic package, but you need someone who's been there. And watching people change when they've gone through the training, understanding it's okay to have had trauma in your life. It's okay to have used drugs and alcohol. It's okay to do this, but you can change lives. And it is so rewarding. Then my other half of my job is an older adult behavioral health specialist. So I get to work with some of the most amazing older adults in our community who I love and adore. Our oldest one's 103 years old. And I'll tell you what, she can work circles around me. And I love it. We do groups with them, and we get to bring them joy in those last few years. Okay. And I get the honor sometimes to be with them as they move on to their next world. And that makes me feel good. I love that, to hold somebody's hand as they're passing and they know somebody's there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Older adult behavioral health, what kind of things are you doing with that?
Oh, so I am not a therapist. Huh? I am not a clinician. Older adult behavioral health is teaching our community about aging. We're all aging. None of us are not aging. Yeah. We are doing it. And we have so many questions that nobody answers. So you can go to the doctor and you can ask him a question, but then there might be 7 other things that you think about when you get home. So we try to educate the community. We have something called the Aging Journey, which is now at the senior center, but we're moving it to the library to get a bigger draw. And we have got classes on things from vertigo in the older adult, addictions in the older adult. How do you find laughter in your life, gratefulness, memories, telephones, scams? We've done things on incontinence. We've done things on sex in the older adult, things that people have questions about, but they're scared to ask, mm-hmm. or they're scared of the response. So we have presenters from all over Klamath coming and doing presentations for us. We do a dementia caregiver support group, which is so powerful because as a caregiver, that's probably one of the hardest jobs you could ever have. You now are taking care of someone that might be your parent, might be your spouse, and you've lost them. And being told you're doing it right, you're doing a good thing, learning how to pick your battles, learning what's important and what's not, and providing guidance to those people in caregiving is huge because they feel like lots of times they're isolated. And pulling a group of people together that have that same journey in front of them is so fun watching. So fun watching the friendships form and sharing of information for the person whose spouse was just diagnosed to the person who's on the very end. Watching them share that journey and being able to be a part of that is really fun. Really fun.
That's neat.
Yeah.
What's Gosh, there's so many areas I want to talk to you about. We're going to need a couple of hours here.
Okay.
But what are a couple of things you could teach me in just a couple of minutes about aging that you think more people need to know?
Oh, what do I think you need to know?
Yeah.
How to talk to your doctor.
Okay.
We were all taught that if the doctor says green nose, go home and paint your nose green, we would go, okay. If the doctor told us you need to take this medication, we would say,
Okay.
don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ask, question. What is the risk? What is the benefit? How is this going to improve my life? Talk me through what your reasons behind deciding I should do that are. Going into the doctor prepared for that conversation, writing down questions. And if they go, I can't talk to you about that, go, well, I'm not leaving until you do. Not being rude about it, just talking to them about it.
Being an advocate for your own health.
Be an advocate. And if you can't be the advocate, take someone with you who can.
Mm-hmm.
Take someone with you who can advocate for you. It's huge. It's huge. I'm sure my doctors are rolling their eyes right now going, oh yeah, don't let her in. I think the other thing as we age is understanding our risk of falling goes up. Whether it's medications, throw rugs, our pets that we love and adore that like to weave in and out of our legs, the shower, that is a huge fall risk. And as we age, our bones get more brittle. We tend to not exercise, which we should still be doing, and we're going to break something. And when we break something, we tend to give up hope. Don't ever give up hope. Don't ever give up hope. Recover. Keep going. Reach out and have people help you.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to, along those same
Okay.
lines, you mentioned that you educate the community about older people. So what is something that you wish the community knew about older people?
Value them. Value their wisdom. Don't write them off as, oh, they don't understand. They don't know. They have wisdom. They have memories that are so amazing and that we should learn from. You think about somebody born, I can't remember what year they said. They went through World War I, World War II, the Black Plague. They went through all these things and they learned a lot, and we write them off as old. Use their experience. Learn from it. Learn to sit and talk to them and ask them. Too many memories are being gone without people knowing what they went through. We're starting, one of our peers is starting a class about memory writing. Because how many people, if somebody wrote my obituary today, my kids would know most of the story. They wouldn't know all the story, not the story I want.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I not writing it down? Write it down so that people know your story. Yeah. And we can't forget, we can't wipe out the past. Mm-hmm. It's there for us to grow from, to learn from, and believe in them.
Have you started writing yours?
I have.
Can you tell me one story from what you've written?
Oh my gosh. You know, I think the story that jumps out the most, this sounds so silly. It's such a funny story. I grew up riding horses. I love riding horses. And we, as I said, I was raised on Bryant Mountain. So we had cattle. We had, we were always on horseback. And I remember taking off from the barn on my horse. Now, you could take off back then, not tell anybody where you were going. And I'm riding along and I get about 3 miles from the house and my horse is just losing his biscuits. And I'm like, stop it. What's your problem? Are you stupid? And a deer ran by me. And I went, really, dude? It's a deer. And a cougar went right behind the deer.
Oh, gosh.
And I went, oh, okay, we're going back to the barn now. And I just threw my hands up and the horse whipped around and went wide open back to the barn. That's awesome. And that one just cracks me up because I always think we write the trailer without the whole movie. And that was the whole movie was listen to your horse. There's my
I like it. I was just thinking there's a lesson in there
There's a
that could be
lesson.
you know what it feels like? That could be a children's book.
It probably could be. Oh, I have all kinds of horse stories. I used to be shy. Wait,
What?
I know. And I got backed off my horse. My horse nuzzled me and I woke up not shy. I don't know what happened.
True story. There's the key to not being shy anymore.
There's a key to not just get backed off your horse. No, don't do that. But horses bring so much to our lives. They have such intuition into our feelings, our thoughts. And if I grow up, I want to be a horse. No, I want to be a wolf. No, I want to be a horse. I don't know which I want to be. I'll be one.
It's easy to get lost. Don't know which path to take, what to post. In the social media jungle, video is king. Your kids are obsessed, your customers are addicted, we're all hooked, and social media sites prioritize videos. So when you're ready to stand out from the crowd, reach out to 40 Deuce Films. Feeling over everything.
Before this episode, we were talking about the wolves, and you were talking about why you like wolves so much. And I want you to tell us why, because I think it highlights everything you just talked about, who you are.
I love wolves. I know that they cause issues in, cattle and for farmers. I love wolves because they take care of the weak and the young and the old, and the leaders of the pack stay behind to help guide. And that's what I think all of us should do. We should be taking care of others and let the strong be out front, but let the leaders be behind helping others. I think it's so important. I love them. I love their eyes. I feel like, yes, people will go, they're evil. No, they're not. I don't look at them that way. They guide me. And I feel like because I have that belief in them, I'm a better person because of that. I hope I'm always guiding people and always surrounding myself, helping others.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that we have lost that a little bit in
Yes.
our world?
Yes.
Or
So I
caring
wish
for
I
other
could say
people?
different. We've lost it. I watch people in the stores. I will talk to Amy in the stores. Somebody looks, a checkout guy the other day had got screamed at by somebody. And I walked up there and he looked at me with so much fear in his eyes. And I said, tell me something unique about you. And he looked at me and the tears started rolling. And he goes, I've never had anybody ask me that. I said, what's unique about you? And he told me about finding feral puppies and kitties and raising them and finding them homes. And I said, keep that in your mind when people are yelling. We've lost that. We've lost that walking down the street and saying hi to people. Seeing somebody, I watched somebody fall on a corner. I pulled my car over to help him up. 3 people, what'd they do? Pulled their camera out and videotaped. They didn't help, but they were laughing.
Right.
And it shows up on social media that they were laughing because somebody had fallen. Be human, be kind. We've got to get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to learn we can disagree about stuff in a nice way, because I'm glad we're not all the same. I don't want to be all of us the same. I want people to be different. But I also want to be able to have a conversation like you and I are, even if we differ.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. And we've lost that.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost that. I do agree.
How do we, beyond being kind,
Mm-hmm.
how do we get back to that? Do you have any ideas?
I wish I had a magic wand. Boom, boom. Taking a look at ourselves. Am I the person that 20 years ago I hoped I would be? When I was 5, did I say, I want to grow up and not help people? Do I want to be someone who likes to stand alone and stand off? Or did I, when I was 5, think, I want to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever. But I had dreams, and those dreams included helping people. I can almost guarantee you, back in the day, people's dreams included being helpful. And how can I help my neighbor? And how can I help my community? And you kind of see the core group of people that do that, and others standing behind complaining, but not stepping up. But I wish people would ask themselves, am I what I wish I was? And would I like me if I was someone who met me? And a magic wand.
I like it. Man, there's more questions I want to ask, but I'm also like, that's like the perfect like exclamation point to this episode.
I know.
But what about, I think in today's day and age, maybe people are just uncomfortable to help or don't know how to anymore. I think that maybe there's a bit of a disconnect. So how do you help? What's like, do we overthink it?
I think we overthink it. It's things such as simple as opening the door for someone. I held the door open for somebody and they said thank you and they went in. And a friend I was with went, I wouldn't have done that. I said, why would you not open a door? And they said, because I had somebody yell at me that they could get the door themselves. I was like, well, if they yell at me, I say, okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize that. And it's just natural for me. But I hope you have a wonderful day because you have a beautiful smile or a beautiful shirt. And go on. Overthinking it 100%, Heather. We overthink everything. How's somebody going to react? How's somebody going to think? If they do, say, I'm sorry. Those words are really easy to come out.
How do we accept help, though? Is it hard for you to accept help?
That's not nice at all. How do we accept help? I will tell you, I am a hard one. I am a hard one to accept help. But what I'm learning is people do want to help. I think it's one of those very funny, somebody breaks their leg and you say, call me if you want help. Are you going to call them? Probably not. If you broke your leg and I said, hey, do you want me to go get groceries for you on Tuesday? I'm going to be at Walmart or Thunderbird or wherever. Being more specific is if people come to me and say, hey, I would love to come over and mow your lawn because I know you've been running around all over the place. Would you be okay with that? I will accept that. If somebody says, hey, call me if you want help, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And it's hard. And we have to put our pride away. We have to think about the other person. And I think we've lost that as well. Is this going to make them feel good? I know it makes me feel good when I help others. 100%. I feel so good inside. So why do I not let others help me? I'm working on. I'm a work in progress.
You're a work in progress.
I am a work in progress.
Can you tell me about a time someone helped you that hands out?
Wow. I mean, my family helps me all the time. And really, my coworkers help me all the time because in our line of work, we sometimes have to have somebody that can understand what we're going through. But I'm going to go back to when my husband was diagnosed with cancer. I and he put up a wall. We don't need anybody. And all of a sudden, people started showing up, and I would find chicken soup that helped when he was going through chemo that he could keep down. I didn't know who it came from. It just appeared. I came home one day, my lawn's mowed, flowers are planted in my front yard. And it was very rewarding. And then I had people who would call and say, I'm going to get groceries. Do you need me to come sit with Dave so you can go out for a drive? Because I know you love to drive. And just asking, but asking for something specific made me more apt to accept it. And during that couple of years with Dave, I don't know what I'd have done without those people. I don't know what I'd have done without them. And I can never repay them, but they don't want repaid. And we have to remember that.
Mhm.
People who give don't want repaid. They want told thank you.
I think there's as I'm listening to that, it's really hard for me to accept help too.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so shocked, Heather.
I know. But as I'm listening to you, the thing that comes to mind is actually the disservice we do to the people that love us and care about us by saying no and putting up that wall. Because I know at times when I want to help and they aren't letting me, I feel like it feels bad.
It
You
does.
want to do something, right?
Right.
That's one thing that comes to mind. But I think the other thing, as I listen to everything you've just said about everything and how do we help and how do we be better people, the thread I think is everything is you just show up.
Show up.
Right? You're showing up and it sounds like you really care about the people in your life and you're just showing up, whether that's at a football game or anything
On a
else. You're
street
just
corner.
showing up.
Just show up. Show up and be you. Be you. Yeah.
I also wonder a little bit in our community if there's that expectation that if I do something for you, you have to do something for me. Do you think that that's always existed or do you think that's gotten worse? Or do you think that's even a thing, I guess?
Oh, I think it's a thing. I think it's gotten much worse. You think about in the old days, a barn burnt down. What happened? The neighbors went and rebuilt it. They didn't expect anything in return. That just happened. Your crops need out of the field. We went and did it. I think people do, unfortunately, think if I do for you or if you do for me, I have to do for you. And that's not always the case. Yes, there's people that want that. 100% there's people who are like, oh, well, remember when I, braided your hair, you need to do this for me. But I don't think most people think that way. But we all have those people in our lives that I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. And we can't let those people govern us. Don't let them govern us.
Can you think of three, are there like 2 or 3 things that most of us could do to help in a situation?
Here's what I'm going to say. How can you help? It depends on the situation. 100%. A situation of, somebody breaks their leg. There's a million things you can do. Hopefully you know them. But I'm going to say, how am I going to word this and be appropriate? Asking people why. So one of the things I wish everybody would do is ask the reason why. We have people who, let's say someone is walking down the street and they have a mental illness. And people will call and say, oh my gosh, they're dancing in the street. I'm like, well, did you ask them what's going on, if you could help them? No. I'm like, so I will go meet them. Go, hey, what's going on? Do you want me to dance with you? And sometimes they'll say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing it. Or, I don't know. Thank you, but yeah, let's dance. But we don't ask why. The little boy who shows up at school and forgets a pencil. Not going, you don't have a pencil, but going, how come you don't have a pencil today? Oh, because I left my backpack at home. What was going on that you left your backpack at home? Well, Mom didn't get out of bed and I was getting my brother and sister ready for school, so we weren't late for school. And I got them to school, but I forgot my backpack. You know what? Here's a pencil. Why didn't you come to work today? Or why were you late for work? I got a flat tire. Why'd you get a flat tire? Because I had nails on my floor in my garage and I didn't know it. Well, how come there were nails on the garage? And not in a threatening way. Well, because my roof has a hole in it and it dripped onto a box of nails and I didn't know it. Figuring out the reason behind it. Yeah. Figuring out the reason behind it. But also not being fearful of people. People really are good. We just have to be willing to go outside ourselves to find that. and I hope I do. And I know you do for a fact. I watch you.
No.
I watch you.
Same. Same. There's a reason. This is all the reason I invited you on. You're doing such good things. And I think that sometimes people want to make a difference on a big scale and they want to make a big impact. But I think that we should never forget the impact we can make individually on a, like that impact is huge as well.
It is. It is. Don't need the glistening lights and streets named after me.
No.
I want to know somebody's life's better because I was there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time today, but I'm going to ask you 3 fun questions at the end.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
This is scary.
If I gave you $250,000 to do something by the end of the day to make a difference in our community, what would you do with it?
I'd build a daycare center and a drop-in center that's run totally by peer supports so that anybody can come in and get food and learn skills, get connected to services, and be treated human instantly. Just find me a building and I'll do it.
I
Might
love
be
it.
more than 250,000. No,
Probably.
maybe I could come in every day, and every day you could give me 250,000. But that to me would be the best thing we could do for our community right now. Is give somebody that safe haven to go to, but also to connect them to resources in a friendly, warm, kind, giving way. So, okay, that was a fun one.
I love that. That is fun. Tell me about one of your role models. Do you have a role model?
Oh my gosh. You know who my role model has been my whole life is my aunt, who graduated from Klamath Union 1965. Sorry, got to give it kudos or she'll be crabby at me. She was diagnosed with lupus when she was 16 and was told she would die. They said, and she kept living, and they told her never to get married. She got married, told her never to have a kid. She had a kid, told her never to go to college. She became a teacher, told her never to go back to college. She quit teaching, went back into administration, told her never to do that again. She became a lawyer, told her never to do that again. She was the Department of Education in Oregon's lawyer for years. They told her to stop doing things, and she just kayaked from Vancouver, Washington, to Ocean Park, Washington, on the peninsula on her 80th birthday.
That is incredible.
And she paints. She'd never painted a day in her life, and she paints. I can't even draw stick figures. Yeah, she is my total role model mentor, and I look at her and think I have nothing to whine about. She's amazing. Amazing.
Now I want her on the podcast.
Oh, she would, but she doesn't live here. But she'd come on. Let me tell you, she is, whoo.
Oh, gosh.
I love her.
Speaking of kayaking and your love of youth.
Okay.
The kids that kayaked the Klamath River.
How
awesome is
awesome
that?
was, I wanted to go.
I want to do it now.
Let's do it.
Let's do a trip.
Let's do a trip.
All right.
I would go anywhere kayaking.
I'm going to find someone to take us.
No, we'll just go. We'll just sneak in.
We might need someone to take us.
Okay, fine.
You might be more adventurous than me.
I'm adventurous.
I love that.
I am. No regrets. No
Awesome.
regrets.
If you were planning your perfect day in Klamath Falls, what would it look like?
Some of my hot spots to go to. I love going to Topastukel. It is my zen where I go to recover, scream, have fun. I love Mount Scott. I love kayaking. I love our museums. I love taking my grandkids for scavenger hunts down Main Street. They look forward to that. We do it 4 times a year, and it is one of their favorite days in the world. I love park hopping. I can find all kinds of things to do. When somebody says there's nothing to do, I'm like,
yes.
Oh, I feel like Kevin in Home Alone. I can always find something to do. I love what our outdoor community brings us. I love it. I love it. I'd love to share it with people. Crater Lake, of course, but that one's kind of a normal. But there's so many little hidden gems. So many hidden gems.
Agreed.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
Patty, thank you for your time.
you.
And thank you for everything you do in our community.
Oh, thank you,
Appreciate
Heather.
it.
I
And thank
appreciate you.
Thank you. And
Yes.
thank you to our producer, 40 Deuce Films.